So, here I am getting ready to do some recording. And what do I see in the top left corner but a notice about mail? I think we've been sent something by someone else on the server. Honey drops and appetite, I believe. So, mail, I do from Nintendo Fan 37. Let's see what he's got to say. In modern seed oil, too. Hey, buddy, let's be pen pals. The supplies for our first notes are in the bag. Hopefully it didn't glitch. Plastic bag, hey! Wow. So there we go. Nintendo Fan has sent me my first piece of mail that I received on the server. A nice letter that had a plastic bag, Remind Factory Reloaded enclosed. Now this is actually a new addition to the mail system. Is an old edition. It's been in forestry forever. But the plastic bag is a new addition to Mind Factory Reloaded. It's very, very neat. And he has sent me all the supplies I need to get started. This is reusable too. That's cool. I like this plastic bag. It's a neat idea. So yeah. Stamps. He sent me some letters. Very, very cool. Neat. I'll compose. I actually was a big proponent of using the mail system on the server to begin with, but I guess I kind of forgot that you do need... Initially, we thought you needed a lot of bee-related stuff from forestry to get it working, but apparently you can use water and seed oil, too, instead of bee material. So he's got started very early, before a lot of other people did, and I think he and I may be the only two people on the server that actually have them. So I have actually been getting kickstarted in Dartcraft, as you can see right here, and I had to get some more MFR supplies, so I had to grow some rubber trees. I'm thinking we're actually going to be turning the back end of this island, maybe not the back, but some part of this island, into a tree farm very, very quickly. So yeah, this is very, very good, and now I have a pen pal on the server. Whoops. This makes me very happy. So, on to our next project. I'm actually going to get... It's a weird-looking palm tree. I'm actually going to get started gathering some supplies for another build. I'll be right back with you. So, just a quick shout-out. I came back earlier this week. I think it was over the weekend or on Monday. And I found this statue of Seiss standing in my base, along with a chest under its feet. The chest actually did have a whole bunch of yellorium ore, which I have since processed. Now, I only had one stack of yellorite ingots. I only had one stack of yellorite ingots that had been given to me by Nintendo Fan 37. Very nice of him, because he decided he wasn't going to use it. Since then, I haven't really found any, because I think most of it spawns above what the sea level is and where I'm mining down here. I haven't done a lot of mining out of the volcano area. I mean, I need to do more of that. But, yeah, so he gave me 8 stacks of yellorium ore. It smelted up into 16 stacks of yellorium ingots. Very, very nice. Very happy about that. So there may actually be a big reactor in our future. By the way, the storage room is coming along very, very nice. I've got some auto crafters up there, and I can actually get up here and show you real quick. I'll just step up here. These are labeled with the sign creator, another logistic pipes thing. And these are auto crafters that craft to certain specific things, like sticks, wooden gear, stone gear, chest, crafting table. This is a logistics table itself. So now I can actually request one of these, and all of the subparts will be made And I can just start tacking them onto the system all the way around here. The only thing I'm running across is that logistics pipes doesn't do ore dictionary. Fun, fun. So with all of these things, I've declared like oak wood, which means I have to keep oak wood on hand, or I'm going to have to keep coming up here and changing this every time I change wood types I have available. So that's kind of a pain in the ass, and I'm not real happy about that with logistics pipes. But we're going to work around it, and we're going to keep using it. So yeah, we do have some auto crafting going on. The rest of the system's working just like a champ. We've got magical crops that are keeping us more than a little topped off. I think I'm going to actually have to change out what I'm growing over there because I'm stockpiling just a little too much. Glowstone. Ender pearls. That's redstone. That's the actual stuff, the essence dust that the base seeds drop, so you can make more seeds. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Also, we're making nether quartz that way now. Dye. This is basically universal dye. Dye essence. You can make any color dye that you want to with it. So, we're fully stocked up on a lot of things, and it's getting to where I think I'm going to have to turn it off. Switch out what stuff we're actually growing out there. Yeah, see right here? This is a back stock of just seeds. Blaze seeds, ender seeds is what I make ender pearls with. So what you make glowstone with. This makes redstone. That makes quartz and netherrack and all sorts of stuff. Dye. So magical crops is very cool, but it's kind of broken in terms of how effective it is. Just a little bit of automation with MFR, and I have completely broken the curve on some of these things. But that being said, I'm very happy about not having to go out and mine or hunt for ender pearls, glowstone, or nether quartz now, especially since I don't have to worry about fighting other people on the server for nether quartz. This does make me happy. So I'm going to gather up some parts. We're going to actually do some more building underwater construction. I am thinking... There's two projects I'm thinking about, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to go towards yet. I'm thinking either underwater arboretum, like an actual garden grove that I could walk around in, give it a nice dome, make it just on the ground in front of the volcano itself. Option number 2 is something a bit more radical, something a bit more militaristic. I'm not sure which one we're going to go for yet. I'm going to look at some plans. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm going to build something that is completely decorative in purpose. I know. Shocker, right? Oh, you know what? I've got the wrong boots on. Oh, it's got to be an empty hand. Boo. There we go. Oh, much better, much faster. I hear a slime somewhere. Wow, I'm going to track that bastard down. Okay, I'm going to get rid of you. But it's okay. I'm going to replant you. Over here. A little bit. Goes a long way. Oh, you know what? I see a pocket that needs to be filled up. At night, monsters can spawn in those air pockets. And they add lag in general. At least that's my belief that they do. One bucket of water gets rid of them real quick. Like that. Ever since our coral reefs got removed because of a slight ID problem, I've been doing this quite a bit out here. I'll do that later. This flat space right here, actually already pre-rounded for me, going to become the site. Whoopsie. For a brand new missile silo. Built into the abyssal stone itself. We are going to take it down. Grab some air. Pretty far. I'm going to make a nice big missile sticking out of it. Now, this is not going to do anything. We don't have ICBM or anything crazy like that in this mod pack, or defense. This is purely for decoration. This is to round out the general feel that our volcano base has. And I think this is a good thing. Okay, this is going to be the outer ring. I'm going to make a surface across the top that is going to open up, and it's going to have a nice big missile sticking up out of it into the water. It's going to be grandiose. I will keep you apprised with a build montage. Okay, we've had a brief change of plan. Gotta make a nice looking missile sticking up out of the top, but I can't because of this. Carpenter slopes do not actually, there's no such thing as multi-block water, basically, is what I'm saying. So, since there's no forged multi-part water, whoopsie, I'm going to actually put the missile underground. We're just going to have to go that route. I'm not very happy about it, but this is what we're going to do. So I have some digging ahead. Brace yourself, folks. This is going to take a minute. Okay. I think this is coming along nicely. This is the underside of a closed missile bay door. I'm actually going to hollow this out several levels, probably all the way down to bedrock, and I am actually going to have a nice big missile sticking up through the middle. We can actually run... Oh gosh, where did my mini-map go? There we go. Volcano's that way. We can actually run some tunnel networks underneath the actual seafloor to the main volcano itself. Maybe even make a tram car system that's going to connect this with the main base. Now, this is not going to be functional. I'm not using this for ore processing or some actual fireable missile. This is all atmosphere. It's all theater. That's why I like it, though. Because you can do stuff like this. You can do things that are so amazing with modded Minecraft. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep paneling these walls all the way around, and then I'll start hollowing down. I'll come back to you guys when we actually get the missile built. Okay, I think we're making really good progress here. I've given some accent walls to these two right here. I've left those the same. So it kind of breaks up the monotony a little bit. I'm going to make a special entryway over there, but we basically have at the bottom end of this is going to be the actual rocket itself, the bottom end of the rocket. So, this I discovered quite accidentally. I heard a slime. I chased down to kill it. Turns out, right here in one of my mining tunnels. That goes off to a tunnel, but then connects back to the main base. Well, actually, it goes way down and connects to the island. So we already have a method for getting some trams down here. I'm also discovering some delicious yellorium. Not delicious. I don't eat the stuff, but still. Iron, you can stay. So, I'm going to patch this up and make this a little prettier, but for now, we have the bottom end of a rocket silo and the top end. I'd love to get some computers, maybe make an observation room off that side, or maybe bump this in a little bit this way and have an observation room right here looking out, see if there's some glass windows. So now I'm going to pop back to the volcano and see, God, I love that staff, if I can find something to build the rocket out of. I'll be right back. Here we have the start of a missile. Not much to look at just yet, but it's getting there. Now that is beginning to look like a proper missile. I've got twin fin stabilization on each side. That's about the best you can make for a triangle-shaped fin in Minecraft, sorry. And I've got the Kind of anonymous striping going up the sides of the silver body itself. Now we're going to make the tip of this thing. I just need to build a little bit of scaffolding to get up here. And I figure I may as well use this quarry block that I've got while I'm at it. So what I've been using is futuristic armor plating. This stuff is actually made. I get a little bit more this way. I think it's got about the same return as the decorative blocks do. The factory blocks. Basically, I've been doing this one right here. Futuristic armor plating with shining metal bits. That's what I've been working with. So what I figure I'm going to do is just extend this up a little bit more. I've not been watching my food level properly, and there's been a couple of times where I have fallen and almost killed myself because I wasn't healing, because I didn't eat. There we go. You just got to get the right angle on these and get them in there. Now these will not connect. They don't have connected textures, unfortunately, but it's about the best we can do. I think what I can do now... Nope. I need you. Actually, you know what? Let's go for a nice... Oh, gosh. Black nose cone. Put that there, and in theory, if I put one down here... Oh, goodness. Really? Thank you. Normally, it's pretty good about detecting, but sometimes what you have to do is finagle it a little bit. There we go. Actually, I liked it there better. Now I need to get that little wedge right there. That's not going to work, is it? No, it's not going to work, which means we're going to have to do... that. So we're gonna have to do that one. And I'm gonna have to make another. Yeah, now, whoa, see, that's like the third time I've done that. Okay. Everybody out of the pool. I just need another batch of these. Put that there, put that there. Then right click this until we get one specific piece. There we go. Now something tells me we're going to want to make this a little bit different. Hang on a second. Okay. So, we've got our mock missile set up. I think I actually might make it a couple of blocks taller later on, but I've got a nice red block. That is, oh gosh, where is it? Blood-stained block. Wonderful addition from Railcraft. That's the tip. And then I've got that coned off top end, along with the striping that goes down the side. I'm not that pleased with the fins. Might widen the fins out one more across the bottom, but overall, I think it came together pretty good. So next step I'm probably going to do is break a panel out right here and put something in there that'll look kind of like a control display. I think that'll be really good, and I've got some machines in mind. Something like an override panel. I actually might put it on this side right here. Then it's going to be a matter of getting some better decoration to that bottom area so it's not bare stone and dirt. And we can start working on the observation room right here on this end. That'll be real nice. From that point forward, we can start getting it hooked up to the main base and we'll really be set. So, I'm going to tidy up here, finish up what I'm doing, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so here we are in our science lab. You can see our brand new missile silo from right inside of it. Now, the way I've decorated this thing, it's actually not brand new anymore. It's been around for several episodes. We just haven't put it to use yet. The way I've got this thing designed is actually, let me get this out real quick. Got our handy dandy Yeta wrench. We've got what looks like factory stone block. This is actually conduit facade. Conveniently, actually, these things don't share connected textures like the normal ones do. But I actually kind of like this. I ended up with this cool pattern on the outside, but this is where the power cable is. Very easy to find. That connects to the main network in the volcano itself, and you get a great view. Now, this is cheating. This is using night vision, thanks to our scouter. That's from Chocolate Quest. It's actually a dungeon drop that was given to me by Poppycox, of all things. Very nice guy. Bit grumpy, but very nice. So, get a great view of the volcano and the tramway back to the island itself from the lab. Really like it being over here. So what I've done, I've actually got travel anchor to pop back and forth, just like I've got the other anchors. That one right there goes to the storage room. That's the main workroom floor. That is down where our generators used to be, so that's right in front of where the powerhouse is now. That's the dive room. And I can even get all the way over to the island if I want to and pop back. So I've got a lot of maneuverability thanks to this staff of travel and Ender IO. What I've also done is, I think you can see it from here, you can see that golden piping. That's a lot of gold, but it's worth it. It's hooked up to the main system for Ender IO itself. Whoops. So basically what it's netting me is this right here, request table that I've hooked up. This is the second one I have made. It's hooked up to the main system, so I can get anything I need to without having to worry about pulling out my remote orderer. Now, what we're actually going to do is going to get into advanced genetics right here. We've got a lot of machines we need to get into, and we're not going to be able to experiment today. But I'm going to at least see if I can make some of the machines and start going over the process with you. Now, the first couple of machines, these are really the ones. What's the combustion generators auto scraper? Huh. The first things we're actually going to want to make is a DNA analyzer. Not too hard. Magnifier, which is basically stone tool rods and glass. Thankfully, I've got my request table right here. Think. Missing one stone tool rod. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to request a stack of that. You see, it takes a little while to get out here. Let's request 32 glass. And I'm actually going to get a full stack of iron. I think I'm probably also going to need Oh, I think I actually brought some of those with me here. They are right here. Books. Books get used a lot in the actual process. So, the first thing that we're actually going to want to make is some of these right here. Just going to stock up on a few. Then we do one of these. Make some magnifying glasses. What we're going to actually do is make 2 DNA analyzers. Now what these machines do, I'm going to put them down right here. Basically, there's a couple of key tools that you have to use with advanced genetics. Now, tool number 1 is, I'm looking for it, the scraper right there. Basically, you make a scraper, and what you actually do is right-click on a monster or an animal with it, and you will get skin cells, just like this, but it will say some flakes of skin from a creeper or some flakes of skin from an enderman right underneath where it says skin scales. You get those things and you put it in here, right here, and it splits it into a helix of some random kind and organic drops. Now, these things may seem to be extraneous and useless, but you actually want to keep these because you end up using them a lot farther down the road. Early on, it's going to seem useless and it's going to seem not very productive to keep them. But you want to keep on to at least some of them. Keep a couple of stacks on hand at least, because when you have to remove a gene from yourself, then you want to actually be able to have an anti-gene that you can make and remove that from yourself if you ever want to. So, there's all sorts of stuff that you can actually make with this. These are the final versions. Speed, like being able to run fast. I believe that comes from the ocelot. Infinite milk. You can actually be milked like a cow. That's where you get it from. No fall damage. I think that's the bat or the spider. Can't remember. Woolly. You can actually be sheared. It's like a sheep. There's eat grass. You can actually eat grass to eat instead of eating food. Just right click on the ground. It's very cool. Jump height. I'm not sure if that's spider or not. Can't remember. Water breather. That's squid. And that's probably one of the first things I'm actually going to do. I would love to be able to breathe underwater. So what I'm actually going to do, whoopsie, is make a couple of scrapers and go for a dip. Now, shift, right click, and we're in the water. Now the fun part. Got to find squid, and seems like I can never find them when I need them. Whoop, here's one closer. Now, these kelp you have to be careful of because they technically have air blocks around them. So you get pulled into them very, very easily. Happens to the squid quite a bit. So just right click and you'll see that flake that just dropped off. There it is right there. You'll get a bunch of these. Now the downside is they don't stack. You also do a little bit of damage to the animal when you do that. So these are popping off, and I'm not catching them very well. There's one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Whoopsie. Just going to get some air. And let's see if we can find another squid and do a better job of catching those skin cells. Okay, come here, squiddy, squiddy. Yep, there's one. And I'm just right-clicking. These things are dropping. How many? Whoop, there's more. Yeah, I got a whole bunch to work with. Now, back to the lab. That is why I really do love this. So you see, I've got all these skin cells. What I want to do now is going to pop these in here one by one. Takes a little bit of time. And while we're doing that, we're going to look into making the next machine. The next machine is an extractor. Let's see if we can find this right here. DNA decryptor, DNA extractor. Now, I have to make a basic DNA dictionary, which means I actually need some cells. So what I'm going to do is wait for these to complete. You'll get cell of a squid. There you go. Now, unfortunately, in order to make some machines, I'm going to have to sacrifice some of the first skin cells I made in order to make progress. And that happens a lot. Anytime there's at least 3 or 4 of these machines where you have to make a basic DNA dictionary, and that requires 4 skin cells. And you're sacrificing the potential of being able to get something cool from those, but you need to get the machines. So, I'm actually going to get some more of these skin cells made, get these analyzed, and then I'll come back to you when I'm ready to move on to the next. Okay, so the very last of our DNA, very last of our skin cells have been processed. Now I've got over here a whole bunch of squid cells. So what I'm going to need next is something called an extractor. I've made 2 basic DNA dictionaries. I've got the other parts. And I'm just going to put these machines down in order. Now I would like to remark, I actually don't know who the mod author is of Advanced Genetics, but the machines and the machine art are exquisite. I absolutely love the way that they look. They look so beautiful, so slick, and very scientific. So we now have, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, I readjusted my Wayla to make it a little bit more easy for me to read. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the DNA extractor. Very similar setup. It's got the anonymous power meter right here. What we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of these squid cells. And we're going to feed it into the machine. Now, the very next thing we're going to get out of that, we're going to need to run through something called a decryptor. And a decryptor, oh, it's down here somewhere. There it is. You see, 2 more basic DNA dictionaries. So I'm going to need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of all of these hard-earned skin cells that I've actually made. And these skin cells these cells do not like the inventory tweaks. I'm making 2 of everything on these machines because it makes everything go that much quicker. Clear that out, put one of those there, and I think I can do that. But now we go back to the decryptor. I need paper. Do I have any paper? Do, please. And this is going to take a second to get here because it has to go from the volcano out the science wing all the way to the end here where the lab is. But the turnaround time, not actually that bad. 2 DNA decryptors. Now we are going to be using a lot of iron with these. So here we go. Some random combination of numbers encrypted and a different one encrypted. Now I can tell you right now, this one right here is going to be a basic gene and not very interesting. It is way later than it should be for me if Coriante is getting onto the server. So, we now have, as I said, basic gene, not very interesting. Water breather, or basic gene. This is a combination. So, these are very, very cool. Basically, what this is telling me, this is basic filler material. It may not sound important, but it is. You still want to keep this. Water breather or basic gene. This has 2 functions. You could make it either one. We could turn it into a water breathing gene or a basic filler gene, which is very nice. So what we're actually going to do is get these. Let's organize these some more. We're going to put those right in there. We're going to get 2 more squid cells. We're going to put them in the extractors. And Corianche is a very lighthearted individual. I very much like him. He's the right kind of personality for me. I love being on the server with him. Just like Bevo and Aiko, everybody's got great dispositions. And even folks like Poppycocks come across as grumpy, but really when it comes down to it, they're good folks at heart. If they found something that you need, they're willing to give it to you or trade with you. And they're always accommodating, always nice. So, being on the server has definitely been very, very fun because I've been on it with really good people. So there's that basic gene again. You'll get to where you recognize those, and that's the same thing. But we still need those. Now, while we're getting all that done, there's another step. We need what's called a splitter, and we're going to have to look. It's in here somewhere. Splitter. Splitter needs more basic DNA dictionaries and diamonds. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order up 2 diamonds. And then I'm going to actually have to step out and get more DNA from squids. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, you're back with me. Let's see what kind of progress we are making in the grand scheme of things. I've actually got the rest of my machines built. Still have a few more skin cells I'm going through. We're going to focus on this thing right here. Water breather gene. Now what we've done is we got a skin cell and got skin scales and got skin cell from it. Then we got that cell and we extracted the DNA from it. We decrypted the DNA and then we split. Here's the hard part. We have to choose water breather or basic gene. We want water breather. This is going to get that and split it into basically the gene itself, which is going to be this thing. And except it won't say completed behind it. And more organic drops, I believe. So this is where when you split it, you have a choice that you have to commit to. Which way you want to go. In our case, we actually want to get the water breathing gene right out of it. You see that? And then we have the breeder. Now here's the part that's going to be hard. Breeder says breeding state 0 of 16. Basically what I have to do now is I have to get all this basic stuff. I'm going to get these and I'm going to extract them. Need to make sure I stay on top of this, otherwise we're going to get behind. And this episode is starting to get long. So we've got all these basic genes, and what we need to do, going to put them in a splitter, extract a basic gene, and we use this as filler material. Every basic gene that we put in here in this left slot raises this number by 1, and we have to get it up to 16. Now, if we find other water breather cells, it gives us 2 incrementally. And there's some things like wool or eating grass, it's not 16, it's only 8. Or 6 in some cases. But the more critical or the more important ones are 16, even 18 or 20. If I remember right. We take that, put that in. Put that in. We have to decrypt, that's going to be a basic one. That might be a water breather. These, basic gene. Please extract that for me. Split it. Basic gene. Now here's the thing, right? You're going to combine that. Got to stay on top of this stuff or else it takes forever. Get that, put that in there. Yeah, so that's a water breather. We got a basic gene. We're going to get water breather out of this because it'll raise our count quicker. Basic gene, please. You see 1 of 16. 2 of 16, 3 of 16 for that one. This is going to take a little bit, and I'm going to need some more skin cells. I can tell already. Nothing in there. Put that in there. Take these out. Thank you very much. That's water breather and water breather right there. Hey, our life might have gotten a little bit easier. Water breather. Thank you very much. So watch this. That's 3 of 16. I think it'll go up to 5. Yeah. Another basic gene will take us up to 6. Let's see, we get that. Thank you very much. Another water breather. Another water breather. I want to get as many water breather genes as I can, specifically because it makes shorter work of this. So now that's at 6. This should bring it up to 8. And this is going to bring it up to 10. I'm going to drop these organic drops off. Don't need them. But I think we're going to be a little bit short. I need that. Thank you. Need that. Actually, you know what? We might be cutting this just perfectly. We'll have to see. You know what? I think as a breeder, I'm going to move this machine over. Let's use a pickaxe. Forgot, I need to make one more. Yep, there it is, which means I'm going to need, you guessed it, more skin cells. Be right back. Okay, so I've got the last machines that I need. This part is not for the faint of heart. You make a syringe. Pretty simple, and they are reusable. Gross. Iron ingots, glass bottle, and an arrow. Makes a certain amount of sense, really. You're going to hold down the right mouse button. Yes, that is aimed at me. Ladies and gentlemen, avert your eyes. Oh. You take a half heart of damage and you get a sample of blood. Now, what you have to do first is get that blood and put it in a thing called a centrifuge. Now, I have filled up this gene in the breeder. Water breather. It says complete. That's how you know it was at 16 of 16. What we're going to do is get our centrifuged blood. We are going to put it over here, the gene over here. We are going to combine the two. Fill the syringe. Back in the centrifuge. And there we go. Filled, centrifuged. Here we go again, folks. 1, 2, 3. Things go a little wonky. I've got nausea for 5 seconds. I'm going to stare at the floor. Makes it a little less bad. Now, otherwise, feel normal. But if you'll notice my air bar, it's not going down. I'll even be daring enough to take off my respiration. Now it is pitch black down here and I can't see anything, but I can still breathe. I am now a water breather. I don't have to worry about running out of air. It means we have longer functioning underwater while I'm doing construction for you. This is very, very cool, and over the next few episodes, I can get more skin cells for more monsters and slowly develop the powers that I've got. Now, real quick, I'm going to go over this, okay? Analyzer. It's the first step. Get the skin cells in here, you'll get cells back. The cells go into the extractor and gives you encrypted DNA. You put the encrypted DNA in the decryptor. and you get out encrypted DNA, then you split it and choose what attribute you want to keep. When you split those out, you then put the one you want in the breeder and fill it with other DNA. It either has to be a basic gene or one of the same type. If I have water breather and fly, yes, fly is an option, ladies and gentlemen. If I have water breather and flying, I can't fill water breather with flying. It has to be other water breather or basic genes. That's it. Then there is the combiner. What you do is you get a syringe of your own blood, centrifuge it, put it in the combiner with the completed gene, back in the centrifuge, and you have the completed filled. Then you inject yourself, and you have that ability. Now, the only way to get rid of those ability are things called anti-genes, and we will get into those in a future episode. I will do more powers next episode. This will give me a chance between this episode and next to actually gather some more skin cells and see if we can get something really, really interesting going on. But until then, this is Vaygrim signing off. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope this has been an educational peek into advanced genetics. I've really had some fun experimenting with this behind the scenes and getting ready for this episode. I really do think that you guys are going to enjoy some of the things that this mod can offer. It goes very, very deep into some of the mod abilities, everything from teleporting like an Enderman, being able to fly, fire resistance, fire swimming, just like water, the whole 9 yards. It's very, very cool. So, this is Vaygrim signing off. Thank you for joining me here on the Resonant Rise server. Bye-bye.